The wind swept through the town of Blackwood, carrying an eerie sound with it. It was a chilling laugh that made people uneasy, seeming to come from nowhere. Right away, you could tell something strange was happening in this place. Blackwood wasn't an ordinary town. It had a weird feeling, like the shadows held secrets. This odd laugh that echoed through the air hinted that things were not normal. It was a sound that gave people goosebumps and made them wonder what mysteries were hidden in the darkness. As you walked down the quiet streets of Blackwood, you might feel like someone was watching you. The trees cast long shadows that moved mysteriously, and the wind seemed to be whispering things you couldn't quite catch. That laugh, that haunting laugh, felt like a message from something beyond, something that wanted your attention and wouldn't let go. Before all the trouble started, Kate Thornton lived an ordinary life in Blackwood. She was just like any other person, going about her days without much worry. But things were about to change in a big way. One day, something awful happened. Kate's family was attacked, and it was brutal. They didn't make it through, and that turned Kate's life upside down. Suddenly, her world was full of pain and sadness. It was like a storm had taken over, and there was no way to escape it. After the tragedy, Blackwood didn't feel the same. It was like a cloud of gloom hung over the town. People whispered about curses and dark rituals, as if something really bad had been awakened. Kate's life was shattered, and the town's eerie atmosphere seemed to reflect her inner turmoil. As Kate tried to put the pieces of her life back together, the whispers about the town's secrets grew louder. She couldn't ignore them, especially when they seemed to be connected to what happened to her family. The ordinary life she once had was gone, replaced by a determination to find out the truth. As the days went by, Kate Thornton's life felt like a puzzle with missing pieces. She couldn't shake the memories of that terrible day when her family was taken from her. The pain was like a heavy weight on her heart, making it hard to breathe. In the midst of her grief, Kate started hearing strange rumors. Whispers in the town spoke of old curses and mysterious rituals that had been forgotten over time. It was as if the shadows held secrets that were itching to be revealed. Kate's curiosity was piqued, and she couldn't ignore the feeling that these whispers were somehow connected to what had happened to her family. Desperation and a thirst for answers pushed Kate to venture into the unknown. She began researching the town's history, digging into its past to uncover the truth. That's when she stumbled upon something that would change everything. A book hidden away in a dusty corner of the town's library revealed dark and forbidden knowledge, the kind of knowledge that could give someone power beyond their wildest dreams. With each page she turned, Kate's fascination grew. The book spoke of ancient rituals, of making pacts with entities from the shadows. It promised power and revenge to those willing to pay the price. In her grief and anger, Kate made a fateful decision. She would make a pact with one of these shadowy entities, using its power to avenge her family. The night she made the pact was unlike any other. The moon hung low in the sky, and the air was heavy with anticipation. Kate followed the instructions from the book, drawing mysterious symbols on the ground and speaking words she could hardly understand. And then, in a moment that felt both terrifying and exhilarating, she felt a surge of power coursing through her veins. With newfound power coursing through her, Kate Thornton's life began to take a twisted turn. The once ordinary woman was now something different, something darker. The pact she had made with the shadowy entity had changed her, and the town of Blackwood could feel it. As Kate's power grew, so did the fear that gripped the town. People whispered in hushed tones about the gruesome scenes left in her wake. Mutilated bodies were discovered, their lives cut short in ways that sent shivers down everyone's spines. It was clear that something was terribly wrong in Blackwood, and Kate was at the center of it all. The atmosphere of the town shifted, becoming tense and heavy. Fear hung in the air like a storm cloud, and the streets that were once bustling with life grew quiet and empty. The shadows seemed to stretch longer, and the wind carried with it a sense of impending doom. Blackwood was no longer a safe place, and its residents knew it all too well. Kate's actions left the town paralyzed with terror. The very mention of her name sent shudders through people, and they lived in constant fear of becoming her next victim. The authorities tried to intervene, but their efforts were futile. Kate's newfound power was beyond their understanding, and it seemed that nothing could stop her reign of terror. The town of Blackwood was in the grip of a growing terror, and at its heart was Kate Thornton, now a force of darkness and chaos. But there was more to her transformation than anyone could have imagined. As the fear escalated, a chilling truth began to unravel. Whispers and rumors had always swirled around Blackwood, hinting at ancient curses and dark rituals. But now, those whispers seemed louder, more urgent. People started to realize that Kate's actions weren't just random acts of violence. There was a pattern, a purpose behind them. It was as if Kate was being controlled by something beyond herself, something malevolent that pulled her strings. As the pieces of the puzzle fell into place, it became clear that she wasn't just seeking revenge for her family. She was becoming a vessel for a greater darkness, a darkness that had been lurking in the shadows of Blackwood for ages. The town's residents were paralyzed by fear, not only of Kate but of the entity that seemed to control her every move. They felt like puppets in a twisted game, manipulated by forces they couldn't comprehend. The atmosphere grew even more suffocating as the realization dawned that the town itself was the stage for a malevolent puppeteer. The town of Blackwood was trapped in a nightmare, with Kate Thornton as its unwilling conductor. The fear was palpable, and the realization that something far more sinister was at play left everyone on edge. Kate's actions were like a choreographed dance, guided by an unseen hand. Each gruesome act seemed to follow a plan, a design that was beyond her control. It was as if the town itself was a stage, and Kate was performing a twisted ballet of violence and terror. As the fear grew, so did the desperation of the town's residents. They banded together, trying to understand the forces that held Kate captive. But their efforts were met with frustration, as the puppeteer's grip on her seemed unbreakable. The more they learned, the more they realized that they were dealing with a malevolent entity that defied human comprehension. The climax approached as Kate's power reached its zenith. The town braced for a final confrontation, unsure of what would come next. It was a battle of shadows and secrets, a fight against an entity that had been manipulating Kate from the beginning. The town of Blackwood stood on the precipice of a fateful reckoning. The echoes of Kate Thornton's actions reverberated through its streets, leaving scars both seen and unseen. As the darkness deepened, a glimmer of hope began to emerge. Kate, once an ordinary woman, had been transformed into an instrument of terror. Her path had been one of violence and chaos, leaving the town haunted by her actions. Yet amidst the devastation, there was a change in the air, a sense that redemption was within reach. The townspeople, though paralyzed by fear, refused to let despair consume them entirely. They recognized that Kate herself was also a victim of the malevolent entity's manipulation. Their determination to break the cycle of darkness began to take shape, as they explored every avenue to sever the puppeteer's hold on her. Kate's scars, both physical and emotional, were a testament to the battles she had fought. Her soul was wounded, but not beyond redemption. As she grappled with the truth of her transformation, a flicker of the woman she once was remained, a reminder of the light that still existed within her. The town of Blackwood held its breath, caught in the grip of a lingering nightmare. The echoes of Kate Thornton's reign of terror still resonated, leaving behind a chilling legacy that couldn't be forgotten. As the town tried to heal, the shadow of the past cast a long and haunting presence. Kate's transformation from an ordinary woman to an agent of darkness had left an indelible mark. Her actions had scarred the town, both physically and emotionally. The wounds were deep and the memories were painful, reminding everyone of the horrors they had endured. But amidst the lingering fear, there was a sense of unity that emerged. The townspeople rallied together, determined to rebuild what had been shattered. Kate herself, scarred by her own choices, faced the truth of her actions and the devastation they had caused. The nightmares that had plagued Blackwood had been banished, but their legacy remained. The townspeople were forever changed by the events that had transpired. Kate, once a victim and then a perpetrator, now stood as a guardian, a reminder of the darkness that could consume anyone if left unchecked. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to watch this next video on why you shouldn't mess with Titchy Toby.